Another application to systems of equations is principal and interest. Just as we did before, we are going to assign a variable, x and y, to represent things that we are trying to solve for in the question. This question has to do with Anne investing $12,000 in two separate accounts to earn a total interest of $700, and we are trying to determine how much of the $12,000 was invested into each account. So I'm going to let x represent the principal in the 6% account, and I'm going to let y represent the principal in the 5% account. Then I'm going to read over the questions again to try to create two equations so that I could solve using graphing, substitution, or elimination. So she invested a total of $12,000 into accounts. So if x represents the principal in the 6% account and y represents the principal in the 5% account, those two values should add up to $12,000. In addition, we know that the total amount of interest is $700, and to find interest, we use our interest formula, which is principal times rate as a decimal times time. Since this is 1 year, I don't need to worry about time because I'd be multiplying by 1. So the amount of interest in the 6% account is 0.06 times x, because that would be the principal times the rate times the time of 1. Same thing for the 5% account. I would have 0.05y, and total, that's $700. Again, you choose which method you like best. I'm going to choose to call this equation x equals 12,000 minus y. Several ways to solve this. You should get the same answer even if you choose to solve it in a different way. That gives me 0.06, and instead of x, I have 12,000 minus y. Whoops. This is supposed to be a plus sign. I'm going to distribute to get 720 minus 0.06y plus 0.05y equals 700. I'm going to subtract 720 from each side, which gives me negative 20 on this side. And on this side, if I combine negative 0.06 and 0.05, I get negative 0.01y. If I divide by that value, I get that y equals $2,000. Now I know that I'm looking for the amount in each account that adds up to 12,000. So again, I can plug in the 2,000 for y and find that the amount in the other account is $10,000. And again, I would write a sentence that says Anne invested $10,000 in the 6% account and $2,000 in the 5% account to earn $700 interest. This question, although it does deal with principal and interest, is not similar to the last question because it does not give us quite the same amount of information. So here we know that Serena's investing money in two accounts, just like the last question. One had a return of 4.5%, so I'm going to call x the principal in the 4.5% account. And I'm going to call y the principal in the 7% account. I am then going to take a look at the other information that they give me in the question. So it says twice as much was invested at 7% as at 4.5%. So twice as much in the 7% account as in the 4.5% account. So I would say that x, which is the amount in the 4.5% account, times 2 should equal y. So if I doubled the amount in the 4.5% account, I should get what's in the 7% account. And then the other sentence will be very similar to our last question. So the amount earned in the original principal at 1 year was $1,017.50. So again, that's principal of x times the rate of 4.5%. That would be the interest on the first account. On the second account, it would be 0.07 times y. Total interest is $1,017.50. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and solve this again by elimination. So 0.045x plus 0.07 times 2x instead, so substitution. I'm going to multiply 0.07 times 2 to get 0.14. I'm going to combine like terms on the left side of the equation, so 0.185x equals that same amount. And when I divide by 0.185, or 185 thousandths, I get that x is equal to 5,500. Again, I need to find the amount in each of the accounts, and so the easiest way is to say that y is 2 times 550, y equals 2x, so y must be 11,000. Again, I would finish this question by writing a sentence that said that Serena invested 5,500 in the 4.5% account and 11,000 in the 7% account. Do this last one on your own, then press play to see how you did. This is Pedro investing money now, a total of 5,000. This is going to be more similar to the first question that we did. If x is the amount in the 12% account and y is the amount in the 10% account, then x plus y equals 5,000. And the total interest is 568, so 0.12 times x plus 0.1 times y equals 568. Again, you choose how you want to solve it, if you want to solve by substitution or elimination. I'm going to call this y equals 5,000 minus x, so 0.12x plus 0.1 times 5,000 minus x. When I solve this, it should solve for the amount in the 12% account. I'm going to distribute the 0.1 and then subtract that 500. And on the same step that I subtract the 500, I'm going to combine these two terms together because they're on the same side. So I'm going to get 0.02x, and on this side I have 68. And when I divide by 0.02, I get that x equals 3,400. Then of course I know they add up to 5,000, so 3,400 plus y equals 5,000. My computer's being a little wonky right now, but y equals 1,600. And again, I would finish it off by the sentence that says Pedro invested 3,400 in the 12% account and 1,600 in the 10% account.